Hey everybody, what's up? I'm Intern Rick, and today I'd like to welcome you to the third episode of Beyond the Box. Today we'll be taking a look at getting that armor painted, finishing up some of the trim, and getting the finishing touches done up on this Disco Faker figure. So sit right back and enjoy. Alright everybody, welcome to the show. If you're just now joining us and haven't been with us for the last couple weeks, we've been doing a custom Disco Battle Armor Faker figure for the one and only Dirt. I thought I would take an opportunity here to maybe just kind of go back over what we've been working on and where we were at today. I actually did some work on the figure over the weekend and in my off time trying to get it ready to go so we would be able to have it finished by the end of this episode. I actually went through and I got all of the gold on the boots finished up, and the gold on the belt and the gold on the wrist cuffs. And I went through and I cleaned up any of the black on the arms and on the legs that may or may not have, gotten kind of messy here and there. So got all that taken care of, and I painted the hands. So this buck is pretty much ready to go as far as just having the fine detailing done and any fine, last minute details. And then finally we'll peel up this this mask and do all the nice little trim around that decal, and this buck will be finished. Now, like I said before, today we're actually going to start getting the armor painted. And I went through and I've already got this stuff all primed and ready to go, so all I've got to do is start dry brushing that gold onto this armor and we'll get that stuff ready to go. And I've got the sword primed and ready to go as well, so we'll get him a nice disco sword. I haven't completely decided how I'm gonna go as far as the paint app for this, for the sword goes. At first I thought I would probably do it just like the Disco Skeletor sword, but now that I'm thinking about it, I think I may actually just do it straight up gold, almost kind of like an homage to the Masters of the Universe board game sword, if you remember that. So might just end up doing that for that. And then we will have the head to finish up, get the last minute touches up on that head, and then the figure will be finished. So with that in mind, let's go ahead and we'll mix our gold paints for this armor and we'll get started. Alright? Again, I'm going to continue using this Citadel gold here, just so I can keep consistent with the gold that I've already used and the gold that is on Dirt's Disco Skeletor figure. So I'm actually almost out of this gold paint, which kind of sucks, but I should be able to get more mixed up, relatively close. So let's get a little bit of water and mix down this gold. I'm actually going to try and pull as much out of this container as I can because I'm pretty low. So I'll probably have to take a break and mix some more of this color before it gets too dried up. That way I can match the tone as close as possible. Okay, so like I said, we're going to do this armor. And I only primed the front. I didn't prime the back because I honestly figured that in the end it's going to be more beneficial to me to not have it primed on the back. That way we don't have any paint scuffs on the paint job underneath whenever we put the armor on or take the armor off. Alright, so I'm just going to start dry brushing this gold right on, just so, so it gets laid in pretty smooth. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Now, again, not trying to talk to anybody like they don't know how to paint or that they have absolutely no idea what they're doing, but whenever you dry brush, you just kind of want to drag the brush against the grain, if you will, and just kind of do it slow so it just kind of puts a nice light layer over your surface, and you don't have to worry about getting too much paint pooled up or brush strokes or anything like that. So we're just going to continue to lightly brush this gold right on here. It's going on very smooth. You can see that there. It's going on pretty smooth. Okay, pretty smooth. And then we've got our first layer of gold applied to the armor on the front. So I'm going to set this piece off to the side and let it dry for a little bit, and then I'll grab the other piece and we'll get that one done the exact same way, and we'll just keep going until this is finished. A little more paint. Remember, you don't want too much paint in your brush because you're dry brushing. So just get a little more paint and then do the exact same thing to the back piece. Whoop. Drop my brush. Going on real nice and smooth. Almost kind of looking like it's just kind of bronzed a little bit, and that's good. That's good because we can just keep building up from that and not have to worry about our layers looking clumpy or goopy or anything like that. So, alright, here's the back piece with its first layer. See how that detail's just kind of popping right now, like it's kind of like a bronze. So we'll set this piece to the side, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do the sword too, since I've got the paint. And the sword should be really quick here. Alright. I'm not too worried about the hilt because I'm probably going to leave the hilt black, or I will at least paint it again black. I'm really just worried about the blade of the sword. This stuff is going on really smooth and really quick. Here we have the first coat on the sword. Alright. Okay, now, before we pick back up here and continue going on, if you remember from last week, I said that I was considering sparkling up the black on the arms and on the legs. And that is something that I'm still going to do. I just really wanted to wait until we were in the last fine detailing process to actually do that. That way, I will clean up anything else that needs to be fixed in those areas at the same time. So, I've also got the little battle damage pieces from the armor here. I haven't completely decided what I'm going to do with these yet. Whenever the paint scheme was being discussed with Dirt, he actually suggested that I just leave the armor orange as it was and just kind of change some of the detailing. But I didn't really feel that that would fit the disco color scheme. I thought that the armor really needed to be gold. So, however, I am considering leaving these battle damage pieces the same as they were right out of the package. Just because everything will end up being highlighted and detailed in orange anyway. So I don't think that that will necessarily look too strange or too weird or anything. So, with that being said, we're going to continue. We're going to go ahead and put in our second coat on this armor here and see if we can get this figure rolling. Just dry brushing as smooth and as evenly as possible, going against that grain so the undertones and the lower levels stay darker, and the higher levels pick up as much gold as possible. And this will actually probably take a couple coats to get it as bright as the gold on the boots and on the wrist cuffs, but that's okay. So the other day, Dirt asked me, alright, so after Disco Faker's done... Hey everybody, what's going on? I'm sure right about now you're kind of like, whoa, what's going on? Am I in some sort of crazy Twilight Zone or something? I thought I was watching an instructional video. Well, you were, and I'm here to offer a formal apology. I'm sure many of you know that I went through many technical difficulties and trials getting this project rolling. From sound issues, to primer issues, to, unfortunately, footage loss issues. That is why I'm here to apologize and let you know that unfortunately the remaining footage from the first project of Beyond the Box was lost. Whether it was a file transfer issue or I just didn't notice and the camera didn't record it, it doesn't exist. However, the figure is finished and I will be sharing it with you today. I also wanted to take a second and thank all of you out there for your enthusiasm and your feedback on this show. And continue to keep those suggestions and comments coming in because I really appreciate them. And I thought I'd also take a second to let you know that Project 2 is going to be the Panther reflocking. And that will get started in just a few weeks. So we're going to sit right back and we're going to take a look at Dirt's Disco Faker.